No, Erev Tov, as we see, we're all dressed up in honor of the second day of Rosh Chodesh Adar Sheni, the second month of Adar that we celebrated today. And in Chutz La'aretz, in the diaspora, it's still being celebrated. So we're connecting ourselves with the diaspora in the celebration of the happiest time of the year, Misha Nichnas Adar Marbim Besimcha. From the time that we usher in the month of Adar, we are instructed and commanded, according to the Jewish code of law, to increase in our joy. And since this is the case, we always mention what that which is mentioned in the Medrash Tilim, that everything that Hashem, the Holy One, blessed be He, commands us, He Himself performs, He Himself observes, and He observes it first. And therefore, since Hashem is observing this instruction of from the time that we usher in Adar, the Hebrew month of Adar, we increase in our joy, He is also increasing in His joy, and Hashem's joy is an infinite joy. And the only infinite joy that we have, that we are able to see, that will be revealed to us immediately now, is the Geula Hashlema V'Amitis, with the revelation of the Rebbe Shlitah Melech HaMashiach, Teichef Umyad Mamish, immediately now. Amen. In the Dvar Malchus, we're in the hard copy, we're on page 366, page 366, Ois Tes, clause 9, or Ois Tes, in the PDF file. So you can find it in the link that was sent on page 12. Page 12 in the PDF file, the right-hand column, the bottom right-hand column, Ois Tes, letter Tes. I'll just, with everyone's permission, take off the red nose. It's a little difficult to read when you have a nose that's blocking your eyesight, but we'll be able to put this maybe on my ear. There you go. I should have another one to have a twin, to make a twin. I think that we have one around here somewhere, but we're in the middle of the class, so we're not going to waste time. One is also good. On the right ear, it's chesed. Excuse me 1 second. Hi. And we'll begin Ois Tes. Al pi ze. Oh, Rav Yaakov Shalom Aleichem.
Sorry, I'm late.
Don't worry, it's never too late, and we can, and it's always possible to do tikkunim. Don't worry, it's never too late. I have to mute you for the class, but Baruchim Haboim. Okay, so Ois Tes, the Rebbe says, and continues to say, as we were learning till now in Parshas Tetzaveh, that's not the portion this week. The portion this week is Pekudei, which we might also mention. Pekudei is the last portion, the last parsha. Page 11. Okay. Rabbi Kaplan says that it's on the PDF file, it's page 11. According to what I have, maybe I'm using a different printing of the Dvar Malchus, so it's not parallel. It's not parallel to what's printed in the PDF file. But apparently, what Rabbi Kaplan tells us is that it's on page 11 in the PDF file, the bottom line. Ois Tes, letter Tes. The Rebbe goes on and says as follows: Al pi ze yesh levar. Thank you very much. Al pi ze yesh levar gam beis hateomim shebeparshas Tetzaveh lo nispah. We wanted to mention that Parshas Pekudei is the last parsha of the book of Shmos, of the book of Exodus, and therefore this coming Shabbos is Shabbos Chazak. We at the end of the culmination of the reading of the portion, everyone stands up. At the end of the last pasuk, and we make the proclamation, Chazak, Chazak, V'nis Chazek. Be strong, and be stronger, even stronger. And this is giving us the fortification in order to go and to be able to begin the new Sefer, the new book that we're going to be starting in 2 weeks, next week, Sefer Vayikra, Sefer Toras Kehanim, the handbook of the Kohanim, and we're all called Kohanim from the time of the giving of the Torah. Hashem says right before the giving of the Torah, "Va'atem tiyuli mamleches Kohanim." We will be a nation of Kohanim, of priests unto Hashem, the Goy Kodesh, and a holy nation, and therefore we have to bring about the Geula, to bring about the Beis Hamikdash, in order that we'll be able to have the service of the Beis Hamikdash, and it should be Teichef or Miyad Mamish. We don't have to wait till next week. So the Rebbe says, Al pi ze yesh levar gam beis hate'amim. According to this, we also have to explain the two reasons shebeparshas Tetzaveh lo nispar shmei shel Moshe, that in the portion of Tetzaveh, going back to Tetzaveh, reminding everyone, the name of Moshe Rabbeinu is not mentioned. Misas Moshe b'shiva ba'adar v'amirasei mechenina b'sifrecha v'shaychusam ze lo ze. And also we have to understand the passing of Moshe Rabbeinu on the 7th of Adar, which again is not far from us. We'll be able to celebrate it again, even though we celebrated on the 1st of Adar. There's an opinion that it's also on the 2nd of Adar. And the utterance that Moshe Rabbeinu made of Mechenina misifrecha, that he said to Hashem that if he doesn't forgive the Jewish nation, that Hashem should not only that Hashem should blot him out of the Torah, of his book as well. And what is the connection between the two explanations or the two occurrences that we just mentioned? Right? The fact that Moshe Rabbeinu's name is not mentioned in the parasha, and the passing of Moshe Rabbeinu on the 7th of Adar, after he said to Hashem that if he doesn't forgive the Jewish nation, he should be blotted out from the Torah as well. The reason that the name of Moshe Rabbeinu is not mentioned in the portion of Tetzaveh, biglal smichusa l'shiva ba'adar, since it is side by side, actually, usually it comes side by side with the 7th of Adar. It is not only because that on the 7th of Adar, Moshe Rabbeinu per se passed away, even though we say the Gemara says that Moshe Rabbeinu lay meis, Moshe Rabbeinu didn't die. But the Rebbe goes on to say, and here we see, since Moshe Rabbeinu at that time took leave of the Jewish nation, therefore this is hinted to in the portion, as we see his name is also removed from the parasha. It's also, according to the commentaries, it is in the honor and that we want to give to Moshe Rabbeinu, since it is side by side, the portion of Tetzaveh and the fact that Moshe Rabbeinu took leave of the Jewish nation, that at the same time on the 7th of Adar. So we give honor and respect to Moshe Rabbeinu by not mentioning his name in the parasha. But the Rebbe says that there's another thing. Elagamu v'ikar, that this is also, and the main thing is, biglal shebishiva be'adar noilad Moshe. It is because that on the 7th of Adar, what happened? Moshe also was born. He did not only pass on, but he was also born on the same day of the same month of the year, the 7th of Adar. Kedai haleda shetchaper al hamisa. And as we mentioned earlier, the Medrash says that the birth of the individual, the birth of Moshe Rabbeinu, is meritorious in order to atone for the day of the passing. And the Rebbe explains, Ki leidas Moshe, for the birth of Moshe Rabbeinu, b'shiva ba'adar, on the 7th of Adar, kayal hisgolos etzem mitziusei shalamayla mishem. This represents the revelation of the essence of Moshe Rabbeinu's mitzias, of his the essence of Moshe Rabbeinu's existence, which is Lemaila Mishem, which is above all names. Shelachein, and since this is the case, Eino Niko b'Shem Moshe. Therefore, in this portion, the Torah doesn't call him by the name Moshe. He doesn't mention the name Moshe at all. That in the entire parsha, his name is not mentioned. Elo ve'ato. But how is he mentioned? In a manner which is removed from a name, above a name. Ve'ato, and Hashem says to Moshe, and you, instead of calling him by name, he says, and you, in a direct manner. Maus atzmuscho, the essence of your existence, ve'ad le'ato, and to the extent that we come to the word ato ha'amiti, you, your true existence, your true you. Atzmusei umahusei isborach. What is the true you? What is the true you of any Jew, let alone Moshe Rabbeinu? Atzmusei umahusei, the essence and the existence of Hashem, blessed be He. The Chayvan Shaledas Moshe, and since the birth of Moshe, Ha'atzmus Shalei Shalamayla Mishem, the essence of Moshe, which is above all names, above any name, B'Shiva Ba'adar, on the 7th of the Hebrew month of Adar, Kshura im Kol Bnei Yisrael, is connected and bound with the entire the Jewish nation, all the children of Israel. Moshe Hu Yisrael. For as we know, and Rashi brings in his commentary, different places, that Moshe represents the Jewish nation, Yisrael, and Yisrael represents Moshe as well, vice versa. Shegoyver mazolam, for the fortune of the Jewish nation is increases, etzem haneshama, as we see it expressed through the essence of the soul of the Shel Yisrael, of the Jewish nation. And also, as is stressed at the beginning of the parsha, that the you, ha'atzmus de Moshe, the essence of Moshe, and to the extent of the essence and the existence of the Holy One, blessed be He, who is in a manner of drawing down into the world, ve'ato, and you, ve'ad letzafta v'chibur, and to the extent of togetherness and joining and connecting, as is expressed in the name of the parasha, tetzave, tzavta v'chibur. Ima atzmus de bnei Yisrael, this is connected with the essence of the children of Israel, shemen, zais, zach, as is expressed in the pure olive oil. Therefore, the Rebbe says, it is hinted to in the portion that we read, that comes side by side to the 7th of Adar, Hamasiras Nefesh Shel Moshe Avur Bnei Yisrael. The fact that Moshe Rabbeinu was willing to put his life on the line, literally to give his life over for the sake of the children of Israel, the nation of Israel. Ha'atzmus shalahem shalamayla me'aTorah. And when we're talking about the children of Israel, we're talking about the atzmus, the essence of the children of Israel, which is above the Torah itself. Be'omrei, when he said, Mecheni na misifrecha, that Hashem should, in the case that Hashem is not going to, chas v'shalom, forgive the Jewish nation, Moshe Rabbeinu said, don't only blot them out, blot me out from your book as well, from the Torah. Al Yedei Zeh Shelo Nizkar Shmei. And this is done through the fact that his name, Moshe Rabbeinu's name, is not mentioned. Elo ve'ata, only the word ve'ata, as is expressed, like we said before, ha'atzmus shaloi shalamayla mishem, the essence of Moshe Rabbeinu, which is above the concept of a name. That this concept is stressed on a revealed basis when on the 7th of the Hebrew month of Adar, that Moshe Rabbeinu was born. His galus ha'atzmus, the Moshe, the revelation of the essence of Moshe, the ha'atzmus the Yisrael, and the essence of the Jewish nation, kfi shehem chad, as they are one, imatzmusei yisborach, with the essence of the Holy One, blessed be He. V'alpize muvan, and according to this it is understood, shegam hatam da'amiras mechenina mesifrecha, that also the reason behind the saying of Moshe Rabbeinu, blot me out from your book if you don't forgive the Jewish nation, shayach l'teichen inyan shel shiva ba'adar, is also connected to the contents of the concept of the 7th of the Hebrew month of Adar. How? Of which shekarin besmichus leparshas Tetzaveh, of which we read side by side in the portion of Tetzaveh, side by side with the 7th of Adar. Yom shenoilad Moshe, the day that Moshe Rabbeinu was born. Ha'atzmus shaloi, the essence of Moshe. Hakshura im ha'atzmus Yisrael, which is connected to the essence of the Jewish nation. Shezoi hasiba, for this is the reason, the Rebbe says, la mesiras nefesh shaloi avur b'nei Yisrael, that Moshe Rabbeinu is willing to give his life over for the children of Israel, when he said, blot me out from your book if you don't forgive the Jewish nation, Hashem. And as a result of this, this is the reason that Moshe Rabbeinu's name is not mentioned in the portion of Tetzaveh. That we read side by side, usually with the to the day of the birth of Moshe Rabbeinu. Ela adarabah, but even more so, ve'ato, and you, says the Rebbe, as it's mentioned in the portion, ha'atzmus shalei shalamayla mishem, the essence of Moshe Rabbeinu, which is above all names, which is above any concept of a name. We'll do Yud today as well. Yud ha'omer le'el, that which is mentioned above, al dvar ha'nekudam shutefes, in regard to the common point, the leidas Moshe b'shiva ba'adar, of the birth of Moshe Rabbeinu on the 7th of the Hebrew month of Adar, uparshas Tetzaveh, and the portion in the Torah of Tetzaveh, shebishneim mudgash ha'etzem d'Yisrael, that in both of them is stressed the essence of the Jewish nation, sheyesh b'hem ha'chizik ve'ha'tekef, that we, the Jewish nation, have the strength and the assertiveness, limser nafsham al kedushas shmo yisborach, to give our lives over in order to sanctify His name, blessed be He, Hashem. Mudgash b'yeser be'inyan shazman grama. This is very much stressed, the Rebbe says, in regard to a concept that is that is now in this period of time that we are holding. Shebeyomim ha'achreinim haya b'shchuna zu, that in these recent days, there was in this neighborhood, the Rebbe is relating to Crown Heights, Sabira, the capital. Kan tziva Hashem es habrocha, here Hashem has commanded the blessing. Me'ira shel kiddush Hashem barabim. There was an occurrence of self-sacrifice in public. Unfortunately, there was Al Yedei Isha Misrael, and this self-sacrifice was by a Jewish woman, a woman of the Jewish nation. Uvehagdoma, and to preface, the Rebbe says, She'ein goymer itanu yodea adma, that we, as it states in Tilim, David Melech says that we don't know what. In other words, we have no clarifications, we have no explanations for the actions of Hashem. None of us, no one of us understands. And no one can understand. No one has the ability to understand. Totally, the occurrence of these happenings. Lama Hashem kacha. Why did Hashem do so? And how much more so, says the Rebbe, when we're talking, this woman was a young woman. She wasn't an older woman. Ima liyelodim, a mother of children. Ktanim, young children. Shetzrichim liimam, that need their mother. Vizgageu achareya, and they will miss their mother. But the Rebbe says there is no point in speaking at length in regard to any reluctancies, any complaints klape HaKadosh Baruch Hu in regard to the Holy One, blessed be He, or V'loshon HaKosov, and as it states in Mishlei, in Proverbs, Al Kein Yiyu Dvarecha Me'atim. Therefore shall your words be short. And this is one of the cases, as King Solomon, Shlomo Melech, wrote in Proverbs, in Mishlei, Al Kein Yiyu Dvarecha Me'atim. Our words should be short. We shouldn't speak at length in regard to this happening. Ve'afal piken, and nevertheless, says the Rebbe, yesh lehadgish es goydel ha'inyan de kiddush Hashem barabim shebime'er hazeh. We must stress the greatness of the sanctification of Hashem's name in public in regard to this occurrence. Ve'ed ve'ikar, and furthermore, and this is the main thing, lizaik la'kadosh baruch Hu, to cry out to the Holy One, blessed be He, al arichus agolus, in regard to the lengthiness of the exile that we find ourselves in. Ad Mosai, says the Rebbe, till when? Ulevakesh v'lidresh, and to ask and to demand, velases, and to do kol ma she'efshar, everything that is in our ability, sheteichef umiyad tovei hageula amitis v'ashleima al yedei Moshiach tzidkenu, that immediately shall the true and the complete redemption come through our righteous Moshiach, our righteous Redeemer. She'az yikuyam hayud, for then will be fulfilled the goal, hakitzu v'ranenu sheichne offer, rise and sing those that dwell in the dust. In other words, the resurrection of the dead. Tchias hamesim. Umaschil mitzadikim shekomim litzchia miyad, and this begins with the tzadikim, with the righteous, for they rise to life immediately, as the Rebbe quotes from the Zohar, Chelik Aleph, page Kuf Mem 140, Aleph, first page of Kuf Mem, Uveineim uvischilosam, and amongst them, and at the beginning of all of them, Haisha Tzidkonis Shenerga al Kiddush Hashem, the righteous woman that was killed in the process of sanctifying Hashem's name. Sheteichef umiyad, that immediately tipogesh neshama beguf, the she will im mishpachta v'ilodea, she will meet as a soul in a body with her family and her children. V'tamshich lechancham, and she will continue to educate them. Ulegadlam, and to raise them. L'teira, lechupa, ulemaisim tevim, to Torah, the study of the Torah, and chuppah, marriage, and maisim tevim, good deeds, miteich simcha v'tuv levav, through joy and happiness of the heart. And this is something that we want, by Hashgacha Pratis, we're learning it now. We know how many of the children of Israel are sanctifying Hashem's name and giving their lives over in order to protect us, the Jewish nation, here in Eretz Yisrael, the army, the Kochas HaBitochen, the security forces, and all those that are that the Rahman al-Litzan have lost their lives throughout the history, but specifically from the 7th of October. The Rebbe here, as we see, is blessing those that have sanctified Hashem's name in public. And there's no greater sanctification of Hashem's name in public than this type of a situation. And therefore, as the Rebbe says, we are coming and asking, begging, and we are demanding from Hashem that we should meet all of those that gave their lives over to sanctify Hashem's name and to protect us, that we should see them all now, souls in bodies, together celebrating the Geula Hashlema Vamitis. Will celebrate now the true and the complete redemption with the Rebbe Shlitah Melech HaMoshiach in the third and the eternal Beis HaMikdash, and this should be Teichef Umiyad, Mamesh, Mamesh, Mamesh. Yechi Adonenu, Moreinu v'Rabbeinu, HaMelech HaMoshiach, Chai v'Kayom le'olam voed. Amen.